Hello everyone, welcome to this week's video. I'm going to be installing a 180-degree freestanding awning onto my Suzuki Grand Vitara, which is usually parked behind me. However, I'm going to need a fair amount of room to unbox this awning, so I've decided to park it outside and I'll just bring it back in when the install stage is ready. Before we get into the unboxing, I just want to say huge thank you to OPENROAD for sponsoring this video. OPENROAD has sent this awning out for review, free of charge. I haven't paid anything for it. They sent it to me. Yeah, big thank you to OPENROAD. And for all the viewers of the channel, they have been generous enough to give yous all a 10% discount. So simply use code ADVENTURES for a 10% discount at checkout. Now, OPENROAD don't solely just do awnings. They also have electric winches, they have recovery equipment, traction boards and snatch ropes, things like that. They've also got some camping shower stuff as well, and a few other little bits and pieces, so definitely jump onto the website. With all that said, I guess we should probably jump onto the unboxing. All right. This is not going to be graceful, however, I'm going to try and get it out of here without, well, looking like an idiot, so. All right. Stand that up. Obviously we have the awning itself, and we also have three very heavy duty looking mounts for the awning and an instruction booklet. Looking at this here, got the mounting brackets. Oh, that's actually awesome. So you can mount them either facing up or facing down depending on your vehicle height. And I'm assuming the fitting hardware is probably inside the bag. So, all right. That certainly seems like it's got some gear in it. Like they've actually got the branded bag too, it's kind of cool. I'm just gonna double check and make sure that there is nothing else left in this bag, packaging wise, like any other little bits of mounting bracket hardware. Well, I'm actually glad I said that. That worked out pretty well, didn't it? I'm now gonna keep looking through here just to make sure I haven't overlooked anything else. I'll zip this back up for the moment. So now that I've got everything sort of laid out, I can now see everything that comes with the actual awning, but just to consolidate it all again, I'll lay it out and we'll go over everything individually. So this is everything that comes with the awning. Over here, we obviously have the two bags that contain a lot of the stuff when you're not using it. Next to those bags, we have the USB to DC power cables. Next to that, we have the two tie-down ropes. And next to that, we have the 4 ground pegs. Below that, we have the 2 tie-down straps, and then all the way up the top, we have the 3 aluminium mounting brackets. Below that, we have on the left, the user manual. In the middle, we have the awning side of the mounting hardware, and on the right, we have the awning side of the mounting hardware. So, the reason why I didn't actually film doing the first awning bracket is down to the fact that I have a roof rack light bar bracket set already installed on there. So essentially what I did was I just unbolted the actual light bar mount, and then I've put the awning mount on top of the light bar mount, and then I've just put those bolts straight back through. That way the awning mounting bracket is sandwiching the light bar mounting bracket, and then obviously you've got the fitting kit that I've put in for these ProRack roof racks. However, for the rear I will actually film. Again, this won't be the same depending what brand of roof racks you have. Just do some research, figure out what kind of mounting kit you need. For my rear roof rack, I'm actually going to use a aluminium mounting plate that sits inside of that channel, the T slot channel. So the aluminium bar that I got has little ridges in it, so it actually grips the inside of the T-track in the roof rack. That way, obviously, it doesn't slip or spin or anything like that when tightening everything up. So with all that said, I'm going to jump back to doing the rear roof rack, and I'll set the camera up on the roof, and yeah, it should be pretty simple. Right, so got this bracket here, so simply just alright, now all I have to do is grab these. I've just got to go and check how flush I actually have the other one so I can get the offset, and then should be good to go. I've got it pretty spot on. In my case, I actually need to put the spanner down into the channel that I'm able to actually get. There we go. So I'm actually able to tighten this down properly. Another thing you want to make sure of is that you've actually got it straight and centered. Obviously, this isn't going to be the final fit. Once we actually install the awning onto the ends of these brackets, once that's done, it's all tightened up, then we can actually find the final position. That is the brackets done. In the morning, I will hopefully try and see if I can put it on by myself. But if not, I will ask a mate to come around and give me a hand. It is the next day. Just as I said in the previous clip, I am going to have to get a hand to put the actual awning on the car. I'll show you how to put those T-bolts in to the back little rails in the backing plate on the awning, and then we can get it up onto the car, which I am super excited for. I'm losing a bit of daylight, so I don't know if I'll be able to go out and actually test it today, but I would like to get it on the car so that way I can figure out whether or not my car is going to actually fit in my garage. Anyway, I'll show you how to chuck these bolts on. I've got the 4 of the short little T-bolts here, so pretty straightforward. Pretty much come over to here where you've got these little cutouts, and that there is pretty much where you would put them. Sort of roughly lined up there, and yeah, repeat the same thing down that end. Okay, so quickly, I actually did notice that there's no holes in the middle of this, so you're going to want to go and use the top and bottom track. Pretty much get that there. That way you can get them all roughly aligned. That might actually make it a little easier to put it on the brackets.
Yeah, we don't hold the other end. We can get one end there. I can't see.
So I'll let Corey, if we just hold it.
Yeah.
And Corey can
Yeah.
line it up.
Yeah. And once one side's in.
Down.
Fucking corner, I can see. Yeah?
Yeah.
You guys good with that side?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
If you hear something get ripped off, you'll know. Thank you.
So, I've already got the front bolted in, just so I can actually show you how easy it is. Let's put a shifter or spanner on there. Tighten them down till they're nice and snug. Going around and double checking them is definitely important. I'm going to go jump onto the front ones now that I've got the rear ones done up, and I'm just going to double check those as well. It actually works pretty bloody well with the height of my car and also the height of the garage door opening. But yeah, definitely can't wait to get out and use this. This is going to be an absolute game changer for me, especially camping. Yeah, honestly can't wait to use it. I'm already actually talking to Ben to see if we can organise another camping trip. Yeah, I'm gonna love putting this thing through its paces. But yeah, that's essentially the install done. Hopefully tomorrow, take it out and yeah, test it in the field. Back out here at the lovely Glasshouse Mountains, thought I would just duck out on a really nice afternoon actually. See if it's easy as to set up and also pack away. Yeah, I haven't actually set this thing up yet, so this will be interesting to see if I can get it in one take. Hopefully I can, otherwise I'm gonna look like a bit of a fool. So yeah, jump outside, set this awning up, and yeah, give it a good old test run. Let's actually set this awning up. I haven't actually looked at the instructions or anything, so this will probably be a good representation of how easy it actually is. I guess there's nothing left to do except for set it up. So pretty straightforward. Grab the zipper and flip that cover up and over. So that's straps. Oh, Velcro, very nice. What is this? Oh, okay. I'm assuming that might be for the outer edges of the awning, but anyway, let's undo some of these. I assume we would just walk like that. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna actually have to strap it to have it actually stay open. Nice, all right, that's pretty cool. I believe in the 2 little bags they give you with the awning, there should be some, what's that, that's the power cable. don't need that right now. So yeah, this strap here is, well, actually there's two of them. So yeah, with those straps we'll go from, I think, the little fabric, like little tags, loops that are on the end of this. So put that through here. Now, hopefully I've actually got somewhere that I can strap this to. Will it make it down to my wheel? No, it won't. That's fine then, I'll just use the bonnet. Luckily, this car has a bonnet that has got a fair amount of gap in it, so I can actually hook things onto it. All right, so same thing on the other side. So we'll put that in the corner there, and I'll just shut the boot for now. See if I can add a bit of length to that, hook it onto my spare wheel, then give it a bit of a reef. You do have to tension this quite a bit to actually get it to be in shape, but yeah, I guess that's kind of it. What do we got here? So, oh yep, these are the drop down legs. So do you, oh yep, spin those to lock them in. I was gonna say, knowing my luck, I'm gonna have these on a really wicked angle. Oh, that's interesting. There's actually some little feet that you flip up to add a bit of angle to the actual awning, just to aid with, I guess, rain falling off the ends of it. So that was remarkably easy. As for these legs, I'm assuming that they probably go into these little end bits here. So again, you don't actually need to install every single one of these. This is more just for added stability in the wind. So if you're at the beach or you just happen to be in a particularly windy area, adding a few of these on is definitely going to stabilize the entire awning. It looks pretty good. This is actually really cool. All right, well, I'll take the camera off the tripod and we'll go for a bit of a walk around under here, and we'll just see what stands out first. So when I was talking about those little sort of feet, these flip up, and that just adds kind of a high point, I guess, in the awning to allow the water to run off. We've also got some OPENROAD logos there in the actual frame, which I think is actually pretty cool. Up in there is where we have the little add-on poles, auxiliary poles, I'll just refer to them as that. You got the auxiliary poles for either end, and then obviously we've got this swing down leg here, and then we've also got a swing down leg here as well. So those are good to have. That's where a lot of the stability comes from. But again, in windy conditions, if you need extra support, all you have to do is just put these end bits in, and yeah, should be good. So same sort of thing over here. We've also got the OPENROAD branding on either one of those. So these here are the little clips that hold the legs in, and if I'm not mistaken, so that there is actually the little DC barrel jack. Good to see that it has a little waterproof sort of, or at least water resistant little bung. So we've got the zipper that runs around the perimeter of the actual awning, obviously excluding the back here where the backing plate is. And yeah, that there is for the optional, I guess, tent or sidewall sort of add-on. Oh, actually, something I just noticed. So we've got these little D-rings right here. That is also to tie down certain parts of the actual awning to, again, just aid in water rolling off the awning rather than pooling up on the top. So what do we have? We've got obviously one there, got one here. What is it? Probably about every half segment. They have the D-ring. Yeah, so you got plenty of options to tie the corners down depending where you actually want to have the water run off. Now that this awning is set up, I'm going to go and plug the lights in. There we go, got USB type A plug, and then we have the little splitter. So yeah, we've got that little splitter there, which then goes to two of these little DC barrel jacks. All right, so it looks like we have an extension lead. I'd assume we can just plug that into there. Oh, okay. All right, so it doesn't look like this little Y section here will actually reach, so I guess that's why they give you the extension. Although that does seem overly long for what is probably, well, it's about 2 meters really. I'd probably call it 190 centimeters since it's about 50 mil in either side for the actual structure where the light is mounted. But anyway, that's fine. So we'll plug that in there, that end, go onto there. And then I guess you just sort of plug it into that. It would be cool if they had some sort of cable management routing, so you can sort of tie the slack away, although just had an idea. If I can use the Velcro here. Oh yeah, that might work too actually. Just use the little Velcro to sort of tie all that out of the way. Oh yes, I need something to plug it into now, so grab my little power station here. I'm actually curious to see what the power consumption is on these. So, oh okay, so we've actually got some little blue lights on here. Not sure if you can see that, but oh yep. Interesting. All right, so that's the orange one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So you've actually got this little sort of touch button here. So you've got, I would call that actually pure white. It's not even really a cold white. That's definitely pure. It's very nice. Then we've got warm white. So you have a mixture of brightness and also a bit of that yellow to keep the bugs away. And then off and back on is the orange. What's the power consumption like with both of these on orange? Looks like about 4 watts is what the little power station is telling me. So we'll go through, put them onto the pure white. Looks to be still about 4 watts. Now if we go to the warm white setting, there we go, both of those on warm white. Looks like we're using about 6 watts of power. Pretty much a drop in the bucket really when it comes to, you know, camp lighting. So what we might do now is I'm gonna see how long it takes me to pack this up, and then we'll move spots because sun is starting to set. Anyway, chuck it back on the tripod and I'll see how quick I can pack this up. Unplug that light, unplug this light, and put the little weatherproof little caps back in. Take this cord out of the Velcro. What should I start with next? Probably the poles, the auxiliary poles, I guess as I'll call them. I was gonna say, knowing my luck, it's gonna take me longer to put everything back in the bags than it will to actually pack this up. All right, that's those poles sorted. Now, pack these ones up. Probably also pull those down, loosen the straps. So loosen that one as well. And then, looks like it's already starting to put itself away. I'll start with this side, fold inwards. Oh, yep, cool, all right, oh, yep. Where did I put those buckles? There we go, there's that one. Oh, there we go, get on the tippy toes. Okay, so I would assume from the crease line that's in that would have to fold up. Cool, all right. Guess fold that, maybe roll it up a little. Yeah, okay. Start with the middle one, I guess. Put that through. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's actually back on. Grab the bag, pull the bag back over, but before I forget, I'll put these poles. I think they were sitting on top this end. Well, that's the awning packed up. That's actually super easy. Now that we've packed it up, I'm going to actually go jump over to a different spot, and I'm actually going to set up a table and chair and enjoy the sunset, I think. Also put the drone up in the air too before I forget. But yeah, I'm definitely getting out of here because it is Mosquito City. I think I'm going to call that a day. As much as I do want to stay out here right now and just enjoy this, I guess all good things do have to come to an end. So that'll probably wrap up today, and hopefully tomorrow we've got some strong wind, so that will be good to see how this awning stands up to that. Packing up in the dark will be interesting. I'm probably going to have to give the awning a good shake just to get all the bugs off. I think, given the amount of bugs right now that are zooming around me, I think I might actually turn those on to maybe warm white for the moment. They have been pretty relentless out here, the mosquitoes and all that, so, and moths apparently. Anyway, I'm going to take all of this in and yeah, get packing up and going home. I think this thing actually stood up pretty damn well to the wind. It's been pretty constant, varying levels of severity, but there have been some really big gusts that have come through. I reckon this thing passes with flying colors. Yeah, overall, I'm pretty bloody happy with that. Honestly, it definitely does help that it has those A-arms that come out, sort of holds everything together. Once I'd actually tensioned up the legs for it and adjusted the straps accordingly, it has not really budged all that much. But yeah, pretty windy out here at the moment. You might still be able to hear it on the microphone, hence why I'm sort of tucked myself in here so I can sort of limit the amount of wind noise that the microphone's picking up. But yeah, honestly, overall pretty happy. I might chuck up some drone footage on the screen to show you how hard the drone was trying to fight the wind. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the afternoon with the wife and yeah, just sort of hang about and pack up and go home. That's the great thing about this awning, is it's an absolute breeze to pack up, so. Big surprise, back out here at Glasshouse again. In this part of the video, I'm going to be comparing a freestanding awning versus a conventional style awning. For that, I've had to acquire the help of a good friend, Ben from Off the Beaten Track. And yeah, we're pretty much going to be out here today. Just a good comparison, just to really sort of run home the idea of how easy it is with these freestanding awnings to actually set up and pack up as well. So anyway, let's get into the shenanigans.
That was actually comical.
You don't know how hard I was trying not to help either. Like, I was just like, I'm like, oh, I'll just give him a hand. I'm like, God damn it, no.
It's literally a two-person job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you saw how much I struggled with that.
Actually, if I have any footage, I'll chuck it up on the screen of me helping Ben in the last, like, 2 camping trips.
Yeah,
setting it
yeah.
up. It's not easy. All right. Well, hey, look, if that wasn't a great, you know, reason why to grab a freestanding awning, well, I don't know what else I can do to convince you, really. But, yeah. All right, so we saw the setup comparison. Now, let's do the exact same thing, but in reverse. Let's see which one packs away quicker. was a little bit closer on the pack up.
Yeah, a little bit closer, but doing this as a one-person job, it's almost impossible because you can't get it up at the same.
Yeah, you got to try
length.
and roll it up evenly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we would zip that up if the zipper still existed, so. A little bit closer on the pack up, but, well, to be fair, Ben didn't have to zip his up.
No, the zipper's busted.
Yeah, I think he's probably due for a replacement.
I think I know what I'm going to get.
Anyway, let's jump on to the next segment of this video, which is going to be the awning features and specs. So jump right onto that. Welcome to what is going to be the features part of the video, and then after that we'll move on to the review. First, we'll jump on to the awning specs. The awning itself weighs 25 kilos. Now, I assume that that is in its form when it's fitted to the vehicle. All right, so the awning material is polyester, I believe, and it is 230 GSM, and in between those layers of polyester there is a silver lining that has like a gel coating, I believe, on there, and that there is where the awning kind of gets its sun rating from. That sun rating is, I think, UV 50++, so pretty damn good. With that silver lining, it does block up to 85% of UV rays. So the rain rating on this awning is 3,000 millimeters. That is the rain rating. So what is the wind rating? In its freestanding form, the wind rating on this is 16 kilometers an hour. So that's its freestanding wind speed rating. If you've got all the legs set up and some guy ropes on it, then that rating increases to 40 kilometers per hour. So I'm unsure of what the actual square meter coverage is of this awning when it's set up, but I will actually go and grab a little screenshot from OPENROAD's website, pop it up on the screen, but that'll give you pretty much all the measurements and area and things like that. So with the specs out of the way, let's jump on into the features. What are the features of this awning? Obviously, the standout, pun intended, feature of this is the fact that it is freestanding. So no legs need to be deployed. It can pretty much just be erected, and as long as the edges are tied to something to obviously give it tension to have the awning spread out, you don't need any legs at all. However, it does have two built-in drop-down legs that are incorporated into the frame so that you can just quickly deploy those legs. You've got a little bit of added stability. OPENROAD also include two extra poles for the very edges of the awning, and again, that just aids in awning stability and also wind resistance. So those drop down legs also have pretty nice little brackets or clamps that hold them up into the actual frame of the awning. Yeah, it's actually pretty great. You just sort of clip it up and yeah, it's easy as to drop down. So directly above those legs, when they are stowed, is the LED lighting that is all built in to the actual structure of the awning. And that's pretty nice to see. It looks bloody slick as, if I do say so. And that LED lighting has three different color modes. So you've got your pure white, you've got a warm white, and you've got the orange. So I'm unsure of the actual specs of the LED strips that are in there. I did reach out to OPENROAD just to ask if they had any details on those lights. I'm yet to hear back, but if I do, I'll definitely pop all that information up onto the screen. I'm unsure of the lumens and the rated wattage, but I can tell you, using my little power station, I have seen about 4 watts of power draw when the lights are either on pure white or the orange setting, and then 6 watts of usage when it is on warm white, as it is obviously running both sets of LEDs, both the pure white and the orange, just at low voltage. So directly above those LEDs, we have the actual awning fabric itself. So it is polyester and it is 230 GSM. There's a couple layers of polyester. You've got polyester obviously at the bottom and at the top, and then in between that is a silver lining that is gel coated, and that is where the awning gets its sun rating from, which is obviously that UV 50++, and that gel and silver lining give it, I think, around 85% blockage of UV rays. With obviously the multiple layers, you've got added durability. Another good feature of this awning, speaking of the actual awning fabric, there are little D-rings sewn in to pretty much every half segment on the actual awning. So if you're in rainy conditions, you can actually just tie one of those D-rings down a little bit, which will dip the awning, which will allow for rainfall to roll off the edge and instead of pooling up on the top. Another cool little thing that is related to that water roll off is there are two little short feet or legs or arms or something that pop up, and they're great because it just adds a little bit of a slope to the very top of the awning. Lastly, with the features, we have a zipper that is sewn in around all the edges, except for obviously where the backing plate is. And that zipper is there for the optional side walls for the awning, which I think is actually pretty cool because it allows you to have a little bit more flexibility. If it is raining sideways, well, you can always put the walls on and that is going to block that rain from coming in, which saves you having to move not only the awning but the vehicle to reposition it. So it's good to see that they put that thought in with the zippers on there. That is essentially all of the product features out of the way. Let's jump on to the final part of this video, which is the review. All right, so for this last part, I'm going to have to read my notes. Whoop. I'm just going to read some notes I printed out. You know, none of this here is from OPENROAD. This is all my thoughts. I just can't remember things for the life of me. So I just thought I'd write it down. They just want an honest review and that's what they're going to get. I guess one of the first points I'll start off with is just how bloody easy it is to set up. I don't want to say I'm lazy. Anyway, I do love how easy it is to set up. Over the last, I think it's been almost 2 weeks that I've actually had this awning on the vehicle. With how easy it is to set up, it is absolutely worth the investment. You either spend money to save time or you spend time to save money. And with camping, we're out here to enjoy all this. We're not out here to spend too much time setting up all of our crap. We're out here to enjoy it. So the less time you can spend setting up your camp, the more time you actually get to enjoy the camp, really. I don't think I can really put it any better than that. So yeah, one thing I do like, it is so easy to set up. But yeah, so second thing I like is the incorporation of those drop down legs into the frame. I think that's just really good. It's a time saver and it's as simple as pulling them down, let them drop, twist them to lock them in and you're done. No more, no less. So good time saver, but it's also really convenient. I really do think that that is bloody awesome. So definitely love that. So another thing that I really do like about this awning is the actual material itself. So I don't know if it's advertised as like a blackout material. However, I don't really see any sun poking through it. So if it were to be the middle of the day, well, that's going to be great because it's going to block the sun. You're going to have good shade as if it were like a tin roof almost. Pretty much zero light for most extensive purposes is going to get through that. So it provides actual good shade. And another good thing about the material being black is if it is to rain at camp and the material gets wet, if the next morning the sun is out and it's shining, well, that black material is going to absorb a lot more thermal energy from the sun than a brighter material, and that should hopefully aid with drying it out. I'm yet to actually test out the awning in the rain, although given how the sky's starting to look behind me, I might get to do that today. But anyway, another thing I really do like is those lights. I just really like the orange lights at camp. I don't know what it is. It's just it's such a relaxed sort of just chill vibe. The light's easy on the eyes. And it just looks cool. I don't know. That could just be me. I don't know. But obviously the inclusion of those lights in the actual rails being incorporated into the frame, I just think it looks pretty slick. I'm really glad that they went with like a pure white. It's just a lot easier on the eyes. It makes things look a lot better and it's also brighter as well. So with everything I like out of the way, let's jump on to some of the things that I think can be improved and would like to be improved or revised. So let's jump onto that. Same thing again, I'm just going to read from my notes. These aren't anyone else's notes. This is all my gibberish, so no one's telling me to say anything. So the biggest thing or gripe, I guess, with the awning isn't actually the awning itself. It's the little USB to Y splitter DC barrel jack cable. The Y cable isn't long enough to get to both of the actual little ports for the lights. So you've got to have one side in, and then you've got to use the included extension lead, but it is just, it's way too long. And yeah, it just makes it look a little bit messy. Having it dangling down the side of the car isn't great. I'm not that I'm worried about my paint or anything, because my paint's already scratched up from glass house. It's more so when people are opening or closing the doors of the car, I don't want the cable to get snagged in there, and then one thing leads to another. Either it gets pulled out of the socket, or my door seal leaks. Very, very small thing, but it can be easily fixed too. Like, just by revising that cable design, just get a Y cable that has one longer section on one side, one shorter on the other. I'm sure people will figure out which side they want to put that on. And also, speaking of that cable situation, having somewhere to actually route the cable in the awning would be great, just again, so it's not dragging over the car and getting stuck indoors opening and closing. Another easy fix, you could just simply put some little tie loops, little Velcro loops, like little strap zip things on there, so you can just tie it up and out of the way. I know that in my time using the awning with the lights, I just use the little Velcro straps to sort of keep a majority of the cable sort of up and behind my roof factory flush bar thing on there, just to toss it out of the way so it's not getting caught in the doors. Honestly, that's actually the biggest complaint I have, and that's not even the awning, that's just the cable. So yeah, that's pretty good. So the second thing that I think could be improved, and this is not like a gripe or anything, this is just an improvement I think that would make this stand out amongst all other awnings, and that would be having some sort of telescoping poles, just like the legs, but for in between the arms, so that you don't actually have to tie the awning to something to obviously have it tensioned enough to spread out. I think this would just be bloody awesome. All they would really have to do is just get another one of those hinges for their flip down legs, mount it sideways, and just put a telescoping pole with a little bit on the end just to go into the like a pre-drilled hole in the little awning frame, so you can push it out. That tensions that bit up, and the same thing with the side ones, do the same there. That way you don't have to tie it to your car. I'm kind of limited with spots that I can tie things on this. Like, a lot of the times I do tie it to my spare wheel. If I need to open the boot, it's a little bit annoying because I've got to quickly give it some slack, and then it starts to sort of come in a little bit, and then I've got to quickly open the door, re-tension it, and then my door ends up getting pulled shut, which then obviously reduces the tension on the awning, so it starts to come back in again. So yeah, that can definitely be something that possibly in a newer revision, because I don't think it's possible on these current ones to actually implement that, as there will have to be some design changes made in the actual structure. But I really, really do think that that would just be the absolute bee's knees, to have poles that go in between the A-arms that swing out, so that you're not having to tie it to your car. That's the only two things I really have any thoughts on. So I guess you could call that negatives. I just think that there's room for improvement. And yeah, honestly, OPENROAD have been great. I let them know all of this feedback as well. They're definitely aware of that, and I don't really know how far that information has gotten. I also don't know what extra tooling and material costs would be as well for that to happen. I'm just sort of giving them an idea that I would like to see. I definitely know with the USB cable that that's cheap and easy to replace, so definitely would like to see those. But I have reached out to OPENROAD, or my contact at OPENROAD. Big shout out to Tim. And yeah, hopefully in newer revisions we'll see those two things addressed. But apart from that, bloody love the thing, eh? That pretty much concludes the video. Thanks everyone who stuck around to the end of the video. Greatly appreciate that. I know this video is a bit longer than most of the other sort of install product things I do on the car, but I just want to try my best to give them the best video possible, as I really do appreciate them sending this out to me, as at the end of the day, I am a very small channel on YouTube. I just really, really appreciate them reaching out to me, giving me the time of day, and also just being great with their communication and things like that. And most of all, I just appreciate that they were not trying to twist my arm in any way and, you know, get me to say it's the best thing since sliced bread. The big thing that made me want to actually do this video apart from obviously getting a really sick awning, was just the fact that they wanted me to be honest and they did not want me to say a bunch of stuff that maybe I didn't feel or that I didn't agree with. I just greatly appreciate that. Overall, I just want to say bloody huge thanks to OPENROAD for sponsoring this video, making this video possible, and just being good people. Definitely check out their website. There's some cool gear. Obviously, you've got awnings first and foremost. You've got the 180, the 270, the sidewalls for them as well. A bunch of other gear, winches, recovery gear, gas, hot water, camping shower stuff, which is bloody awesome. Hey, look, call it glamping. I like my creature comforts. Don't forget, use code ADVENTURE for 10% off site-wide on OPENROAD's website. I'll leave my affiliate link down below, and I do get a little bit of a kickback off that affiliate link, so I greatly appreciate if you use that. Let me know down in the comments. Are you looking for one? Do you want to know anything else that perhaps I have not mentioned in the video? I'll be more than happy to answer all of them. Yeah, honestly, thank everyone for watching. I gotta say, I'm kind of proud of myself. Which is not something that I usually feel quite often. But yeah, so I hope you like this video. Thank you to all 500 and I think 36 subscribers that we've got at the moment. I appreciate every single one of you. It's been a bloody good year so far for me and for the channel. I hope you've all enjoyed the little journey that we've gone on here, but really proud of this video. And before I get swooped by that magpie, I'm gonna get going. Sun's going down. Thank you to everyone. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all that stuff. Greatly appreciate it. And I know I say it a lot, I really do appreciate it, but I really do. It means the world to me that I can come out here and do this stuff. It's, yeah. Without getting too soppy, I'll end it here. And yeah, thanks everyone.